Okay, Dr. Go is back with another piece of the video. I'm not sure if I'll ever learn how to stitch videos together, so I'm just going to pretend it's stitched together, and I may have to upload them separately because I haven't learned all that good stuff yet. So anyway, to continue on, what I was talking about is that the next product I'm going to try on here on the next little window is this Maguiar's number 49. Get a chance for you to read what that says there. You can look that up. Talks about being heavy-duty cleaner, and it's an oxidation remover for marine and RV. I'm gonna give that a try, and I'm gonna use the yellow pad, which is a little bit of a fine cut, because I'm gonna try and start mild and work my way harder. I'm afraid I'm gonna make a mistake going aggressive and go lighter because I'm not a pro. They know how to target exactly where to start, but I do not. And that's the chart on this particular brand stuff on the back. So I'm starting with the yellow, second from the lightest or less aggressive, for that less aggressive oxidation remover. And then I'm going to do the next product with that green one. I'll show you that green pad. That's this one. Same chart on the back. I'll use that one for the more aggressive if I need to go that far. If I don't, I won't go there, but this is what that marine one-step compound is. Again, just taking advice of others that tried some things, and their stuff is maybe at different levels, and I didn't get to see their project, so I just don't know how my project compares to theirs and how aggressive I need to get. Just don't want to go in there and just rip it apart. I mean, I'm not ever going to replace this boat, and like I say, it's a 1990. I'm just trying to make it look decent. It's getting really hazy, and I just, you know, from 20 or 30 feet, I'd like to make it look decent if I can. There's certainly gouges that got in through that paint, through those stripes, that I'll never fix because I'm not a person that understands how to fix all that. You know, burns through and cuts through. It's like, well, it's road rash. It's life. I got plenty of scars myself. So anyway, that's the third product I'm going to try, and I'll use that with this variable speed. 600 RPM goes up to 2200 RPM variable. You know, in some of the videos I've watched of others, just trying to get a feel for it. Again, no pro, I'm bound to make a ton of mistakes here, so don't use mine as the authority. I'm just using mine as my project example. But some of it, they say start really low on the power or the speed, buzz through it a little bit, go left to right, cover it, go top to bottom, cover it, wipe it off, look at it. It's supposed to be a diminishing, these Maguiars are diminishing abrasives, so they turn to more of a cream, and they don't keep just cutting and tearing your stuff up. Pretty amazing the chemical stuff that these guys know how to do, these gals that are, these chemists who work for these companies. Pretty amazing the stuff they develop for guys like me, because if it was just old school stuff and very abrasive, I'd get in there and grind and I'd keep going, probably burn it, cut through, and ruin it. So just try not to ruin it. But those are tools I'm going to try and use. And again, very boring, but I'm going to try and jump in with that buff ball and that Flitz and give it a little shot on this first one and see where it goes, and wipe it off. So less talking, more action. All right, now I'm going to try and get it wet and dab it around so I don't just hit it and sling it all over the place, because it probably costs too much to waste. So I'm just going to do some dabbing. I'm just going to focus on the stripes. I'm not going to try and do the whole boat in a video. I just want to get a couple sample shots here. I'm sure I'm going to be wearing this in a minute. It's going to be all over me, so have a good laugh. Here we go. This is variable speed, by the way, so I'm going to start slow and work my way up. Yeah, it got dry pretty quick, so I'm just going to wipe that off to look at it. Probably wet this up and give it some more. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it right now because I just want to feel it out. All right, need some more work. Here we go. I'm sure there are much better ways to apply that than just throwing a screwdriver in there and doing it, but just doing what I'm doing. I probably should have reread the instructions because I think you're supposed to run this a little bit fast. We're going to learn by mistake, right? Here we go. Probably should have got a little water for that rag. Might have done a better job of cleaning that off. Might have to use my drinking water. Little water, little body armor mix there. Here's a little closer. Right now it's still hazy, certainly. I don't know, psychologically maybe it's not as hazy as what it was next door. I haven't really worked on it hard here. There's the comparison of the two. I don't know. Maybe as it dries it's going to haze right back up. Looks like it might need to be more aggressive. So I'm going to move over to this section and try the next level and see. And who knows, I might have to resort to using a pad with that Flitz on there just to see if it'll cut better. Not really sure. In this case, it is my first rodeo, so can't say that I actually know what I'm doing. Well, the bottle says shake the daylights out of it, so not sure if I got that angled where everyone can see what we're doing. There's a little cloudy, maybe that helps a little bit. They say put an X across there. I don't know if I do an X or what I do, but I guess I better take this part off or I'm not going to get anything on there. A little bit yellowish. It's the first time on this pad, so it's not very saturated. We'll see what happens here. Whoa, that stuff runs pretty fast out of there. Dripping all over everything, my tools and whatever. I think I'm gonna have to just dab that on there. I'll dab that on there first because it's really runny. It looks like it'll go flying everywhere if I don't do something. And I've never used this tool, so who's to say how much of a circus this is going to turn into, especially if I don't plug it in. Forgot to get myself a Y-tap. Let me dab it. Okay. It was runny, so I just let it drip a little bit on there. It's going to be a mess. I got to figure out how this works in here, but anyway, here we go. I'm going to set it for 600 and go from there. I better brace myself. That thing grips. It's going to send me flying down the driveway. I better get in a better position here. Figure out which method works best. I'd say definitely that pad has a lot more traction. Really bites. I mean, it's dragging me around on that, so a lot of surface area. And I'll probably speed it up. The video I had watched, they started at 600 and got it wet and worked it in, and then they bumped it to like 1400. I guess I'm willing to try it. Got to follow what someone does before you or blaze your own trail. You can tell it's a little warm out for the got-a-shape guy. I tend to sweat a little, even when I'm not really working hard. About 1200, we'll go from there. I'm just going to wipe that off, and then I'm going to try and show the camera view and see what it looks like. Got cloudy. I took the glasses off. So it looks like for just that really short amount, and that seemed to really grip more. The other one was just paddling lightly across the surface, and I was pushing into it, but it wasn't like dragging me. This thing was like dragging and biting in there. Probably need to put more on it, but I think it dug a little better and got a little shinier for the amount of effort that I just put in it. Because you look at that one, that red is a little redder, and that's a little shinier. I didn't really get down here well, but that I think looks a little more than this. And maybe this just needs one of those cut pads with that Flitz on there to help work it in and get it hot a little bit. Let me wipe off this. That's what it looks like normally. Pretty hazed. Already it's a big improvement. I haven't really put a lot of effort into it, but might come back to that. But I'm going to redo this with another layer and see where that goes. That's not looking crazy bad for just a scratch start. Maybe I'll just try and put some on and let it drain down here. Kind of sounded abrasive when I scratched that on there, almost how it sounds like with sandpaper, just a little, like it had sand in it, a little grit. I'm not sure how gritty it actually is, but I'll just dab that down a little bit. Again, don't follow my instructions. Here we go again. going to get a couple more dabs, try to get that bottom worked in real quick here before I wrap this one up, and take a look before I start my next video and before I do that one, just to see where it's at. Okay, here we go. Up to 1400 from 1200. Okay, let's take a close look at what we've got. The Flitz was first, but very light, didn't put as much time in. There's the original haze right next to it. Like I say, I didn't really put a lot of bite into it, though I think the red stripe's a little better, but I need to get more aggressive, maybe with a pad with that Flitz to try it. But this definitely, with that amount of effort you just saw, it definitely got better than it was and starts to take some of the haze down. And again, I can keep working that with a lighter pad that hasn't cut as much and smooths that out, because I'm even seeing some reflection here. You can look at my glove here. What kind of reflection is there, and then back to the original. That's the condition it was in. So, good old HydroStream. So, that's in a nutshell. Multiply that by 20 foot of boat, high and low, bottom is bigger, both sides, and I got my work cut out for me. If I do that one, I might do that third one. Whoops. I might do that one off camera and try it with that heavier cutter, because maybe that's going to cut faster and not do any damage, and I can work my way to the better pad, the lighter pad, which I have down in a bag down there, and that'll be even smoother than what this is. I do want to get kind of reflective, and then someday I'll wax it, but a lot of work ahead of me. Just wanted to share what I'm trying. I'll try and do a results video of at least the sampling, and try it with that third one and compare it straight up, and we'll go from there. Maybe I'll even re-hit that Flitz one with a pad with the Flitz and the big buffer, because at least it's kind of maybe on equal terms and may help it out. Thanks for sitting through the boring if you made it this far, but anyway, more boring to come. Dr. Go out.